Hot FM. News. Clear, concise and informative.
A very beautiful morning to you and welcome to the News Machine, the hottest news magazine show on radio, and we are reaching you from our Hot FM stations in Lagos on 93.3 FM, Hot FM Abuja 98.3 FM, and Hot FM Owerri 99.5 FM, 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m. Monday to Friday. I am Victor Eze. This morning on the News Machine, ECOWAS chairmanship, Senate leadership to pay congratulatory visit to President Tinubu. And President Tinubu writes reps seeks 500 billion naira for subsidy removal palliatives. And still in the headlines, NECO releases common entrance examination results. The News Machine will be back after this message.
Now you can get your news on. Hot, fresh, exciting, and exclusive. The News Machine.
Reaching you at the same time in Lagos, Abuja, and Owerri. 3 states for the price of 1. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m.
The News Machine. More than just news.
Hot FM.
We are more than just radio.
Welcome back to the News Machine. The Senate leadership has resolved to pay a congratulatory visit to President Bola Tinubu for his emergence as the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The leadership is made up of Senate President Godswill Akpabio, his deputy Jibrin Barau, and other principal officers of the upper legislative chamber. This comes from a motion sponsored by the deputy Senate President Jibrin Barau.
And knows also that since the establishment of ECOWAS in 1975, Nigeria has played key leadership roles, particularly in the promotion of sub-regional security, defense of democracy and human rights, economic integration, and collective response to security within the sub-region. And ECOWAS is even better placed under the chairmanship of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in the discharge of the above mandates among.
This is Senator Ahmed Lawan, immediate past Senate President.
I represent the very good people of Yobe North. Well, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, we have a cause to celebrate that our President has been made the leader of ECOWAS. Mr. President, one way that this Senate and indeed the National Assembly will help Mr. President lead the ECOWAS is through ECOWAS Parliament. We have the Parliament. I'm sure you will soon constitute the membership of the Parliament. Issues that are germane to us and indeed across the ECOWAS community must be at the front burner. And for us, security, infrastructural development, and these are some of the issues that Mr. President himself has championed before.
Here is Senator Adams Oshomole, Edo North.
The president's statement about Nigeria is back. For me, sir, being elected as president is wonderful, but we also know that these are more of, they rotate from time to time. What I found exciting and worth commending is not the fact of his election. It is the boldness with which he spoke, the confidence with which he spoke, and denounced the idea of one after the other coup plotters infiltrating to the sub-region, and his commitment that the West Africa sub-region must defend democracy and that he will provide leadership for all of those things. For me, it is not occupy office that matter. It's what we do with the office. His first statement that day for me gave me confidence that truly this is the leader of the black world speaking to his brothers in West Africa. May that spirit be sustained.
And Senator Orji Uzo Khalil, Abia South.
This is not going to always stop in this. We are still expecting that before Nigeria plays a leading role in Africa. But Nigerians have been going behind in playing international politics. And international politics means respect for our citizens, means respect for our passport, means also respect to dignity of labor of Nigerian people working in other countries. So I congratulate President Tinubu on this occasion, but urge him to go further. We're expecting that very soon he will be chairman of AU. so that we can use that position to address the issue of Nigerians living in other countries.
The president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, expressed hope that President Tinubu's emergence will create an opportunity to address the ill treatment meted on Nigerians in most of the West African countries.
I had pointed out that once we pass through the door into the chambers, we drop the issue of minority and otherwise. We are all senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that is why there is a unanimity of opinions here, because the honor done to Mr. President is an honor done to the entirety of Nigerians and to all of us.
The Senate urged member countries and their parliaments to congratulate Nigeria's president for his installation at the recently concluded 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, held in Bissau, capital of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has written to the House of Representatives seeking an amendment to the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act. The amendment, he said, was to allow the federal government to source 500 billion naira for palliatives to cushion the effect of subsidy removal. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, read the President's letter during plenary. The letter was titled Request for the Amendment of the 2022 Appropriation Act. The President said the provision of palliatives to Nigerians is to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. The Speaker said the lawmakers would consider Tinubu's request at plenary today. The results of National Common Entrance Examinations conducted by the National Examination Council (NECO) have been released. The Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Education, Andrew Adejo, made this known while giving a breakdown of the scores in Abuja. Adejo said a total of 72,865 pupils registered, with Lagos State having the highest number of 18,644 and Taraba with the lowest of 102. Adejo said there were 38,801 female registrants against 34,064 males. He said 76 pupils had the highest score of 203. The lowest score was 1 mark, and this was scored by 6 pupils. Now it's time to get the trending stories from our News Machine studios at ODFM 98.3 Abuja. Let's hook up with Abuja Report.
Good morning. Here's the news from Abuja. Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has tasked media organizations on accurate reporting of epidemics to combat public health challenges in Nigeria effectively. Director General of NCDC, Dr. Efedayo Adetifa, who made the call during a press conference on the launching of the Media Epidemiology, Infodemic, Social Behavior Change and Risk Communication Program Fellowship, said the danger of infodemic is an excessive amount of incorrect information spread rapidly, particularly through social media.
Communication obviously is essential to carry along the public that we serve and to make sure that there is full understanding and cooperation, because without the cooperation of the public, all of the efforts that we are implementing or putting in place to look after the environment, look after animals, look after human health will not work. You need the cooperation of the citizens and the public. And for the public to cooperate with you, then they need to not just have a relationship of trust, but they need to have the appropriate information. But the media, the information that you share percolates or reaches every corner of the country, whether it's by more traditional forms of media or now by social media. And social media, perhaps for all of its advantage, it's also part of the reason why we have the infodemic that is now associated with public health events.
In her remarks, the Deputy Project Director, RCCE Breakthrough Action Nigeria, Dr. Olayinka Umar Farouk, said the Media EIS Program Fellowship Program is aimed at strengthening health reporting in Nigeria.
The Media EIS on Epidemiology, Infodemiology and Social and Behavior Change is a collaborative agreement between 3 key stakeholders: the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the Africa Field Epidemiology Network, and Breakthrough Action under the leadership of Johns Hopkins Center for Communication Program. This will allow the media practitioners to package scientific information and generate content in a way that resonates with the public and support them to take positive actions towards healthy behavior, which ultimately will benefit all Nigerians. Understanding that trust is the bedrock of effective communication, we leverage the reputation the media has as a trusted channel of communication to enhance their capacity to educate, motivate, and build confidence in their audience. The goal is to shift from providing health information to providing health information that promotes positive emotion and action to achieve information equity for improved health literacy and ultimately health security.
She explained that the fellowship would provide journalists with comprehensive training, mentorship, and field exposure in epidemiology, infodemiology, and social behavior change and risk communication to enable them to report more accurately and responsibly, thereby contributing to effective management of infectious diseases in Nigeria. And that's all from the News Machine studio at Hot FM Abuja. I am Kevin Joseph La, over to Lagos.
All right, let's link up with the News Machine studio at FM 99.5 Ori for the trending news happening in the southeastern part of the country.
Good morning. The Imo State Police Commissioner CP Mohammed Barde has urged media organizations and practitioners in the state to entrench the importance of professional standards in reportage, particularly where unverified information was concerned. CP Barde was reacting to a news report where sit-at-home enforcers of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB last Friday night set ablaze part of the Orie Amaraku Market in Isialambano Council area of Imo State, as well as buses and tricycles, condemned the situation where journalists would ignore the ethics of professional journalism and balanced reportage and throw all caution to the wind in a bid to enjoy the thrills of sensationalism. The security chief, represented by the command spokesman Henry Okoye, disclosed this to journalists during a press briefing when the command paraded 53 suspects ranging from baby factory, kidnapping, and cable theft, among others.
The command is equally surprised and filled with dismay at how notable media prints wrongfully reported that Amaraku Market, located as Isialambano local government area of Imo State, was burned down by sit-at-home enforcers, as such incidents never happened. The CP beckoned on the media always verify their stories before publication, as such false report is misleading and capable of causing panic.
The command also reaffirmed its commitment to reducing crimes of various types to the barest minimum in the state and warned criminals to turn new leaves or be caught by the gallant police officers of the Imo State Police Command. The Abia State Health Commissioner Dr. Ngozi Okoronkwo has described the newly constructed and inaugurated Abia Multi-Specialist Hospital in Aba as unfit for human use. Dr. Okoronkwo, newly appointed by Governor Alex Oti, made this conclusion on Wednesday after inspecting the facility, adding that the structural defects, poor ventilation, and unfitted equipment make it unfit for use. The hospital was constructed by immediate former Governor Okezie Ikpeazu following the demolition of the old Aba General Hospital, which was built in 1957. A total of 6 persons lost their lives recently in a multiple road accident in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria. The accident, which involved a crude oil tanker, an SUV, a Hiace bus, and a fully loaded truck, occurred along 9th Mile Ugu Onyama Road in the state. However, some of the survivors were taken to the Our Saviour Medical Center, the National Orthopedic Hospital Enugu, and the Enugu State University of Technology Teaching Hospital for treatment. That's all from the News Machine studios at Hot FM Owerri. I am Anthony Ogbekele. Back to our Lagos studio.
You're still listening to the News Machine, reaching you from our Hot FM stations in Lagos on 93.3 FM, Hot FM Abuja 98.3 FM, and Hot FM Owerri 99.5 FM, 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m., Monday to Friday. Let's hear what correspondent Nesta Sani has for us in Voices in the News.
Nigeria's immediate past Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Khali Baba, as he hands over to his successor.
As I exit the leadership of the force today, I believe that I am leaving it better than I met it. I believe that I have added value to policing in Nigeria. I hold the firm conviction that the steady progress has been made in all the components of my promise to change the policing narratives and in our journey to restore the dwindling police primacy within the internal security architecture of the country. We might not be there, or we might not yet be there, but certainly the pathways have been clearly defined, firm foundation built, and the giant strides taken for a new force leadership to leverage on his quest for a better police force.
And on the foreign scene, the United Kingdom government has imposed sanctions on businesses linked to the leaders of both sides in the conflict in Sudan. The measures apply to 3 businesses associated with the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and 3 to its rival in the power struggle, the Rapid Support Forces, RSF. The action comes with the conflict between the regular army and the paramilitary RSF threatening to spiral into a full-blown civil war. The sanctions will ensure that any assets held by the firms in the UK will be frozen. Remember, you can listen to more episodes of The News Machine and watch videos of news stories online at hotfm.ng. And that's a wrap on today's edition of The News Machine. Join us again tomorrow for a fresh edition. Do well to have a beautiful day.